Greetings, gremlings, and welcome to another rainy night in Clawville. The chicken police are at it again, investigating a case of blackmail and threatening messages to the girlfriend of Ibn Wessler, top dog of the crime world around here, even though he's a rat. We found out last time that our good friend Zip was in a little bit of trouble because apparently he had disposed of a body for Ibn Wessler in the hive, but he had kept the wristband, the medical wristband label that fell off in the process. And Ibn feels like he knows a little too much about some secrets. So, Zip's quick thinking, he called the cops on himself and is currently hiding out at the police station. We've questioned him about the armband, and the only medical professional we know is good old Bubo, the disgraced, now working underground doctor who stitches up criminals and crooked cops alike. So let's see if we can tie all these threads together and figure out who's threatening.
Hello, Ursula, dear. Oh, what's the rush? Is there something wrong?
Natasha Katzenko.
Wrong? That dim-witted, insane, ragged old stinky owl. That's what's wrong.
That was...
Oops! I skipped it. No. Wait, go back.
That was...
Shit.
Rough,
Yeah.
but understandable. I only see Bubo once a year, and even that's way too much.
A lot of people feel the same about us.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, Bubo.
Say, Bubo, about Ursula.
What about her?
Well, that's just it. What if she's not coming back? I'm a little worried about you, Doc. And you know that's not my style.
Well, don't worry, boys. The wind's blowing, the sun's shining.
And Ursula always comes back.
Exactly. There are things in the universe that are unchangeable.
Touching, but you should be prepared for the worst. I thought Molly was coming back too, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I trust Ursula, Sonny. What else can I do?
Well, to be honest, that's all you can do. That rat you mentioned was Zip.
Should I be surprised or what? I knew it was him.
Yeah, we knew you knew.
What did that old raccoon do this time?
Ibn was blackmailing him with something. That's what we wanted to ask you. Do you know anything about it?
I don't care about Wessler's dealings, Sonny. I patch up whoever winds up here, and I don't care if they're cops or gangsters.
Or gangster cops.
It's the same thing.
Oh, brother. What do you know about this wristband, Bubo?
Zip said they gave these to patients in hospitals. That's why we came back to you.
Something similar, yes, but not exactly the same. It's different.
And?
And what?
Well, what do you think? Where's this from?
How the hoot would I know, Sonny? What am I, some kind of psychic? That I put my hands on it and tell you?
Okay, let's try another approach. Do you have any idea why Wessler's men were looking for Zip so hard?
I don't. How should I know? Why should I care?
He had to hide a body. The body of someone Wessler killed. The wristband is from the corpse.
Really?
That rang a bell, old owl.
Well, boys, if I'm right, you're in deep shit.
We knew that already.
That's more like it.
Tell us, Bubo.
So, Whistler, the wristband, and a corpse, huh? It looks very much like I know the connection. Or at least I have a hunch.
Out with it, Owlface.
Okay, don't peck me, chickens. Hobart Ibn Whistler has a relative who happens to be a resident at an insane asylum. The band is very likely from there.
Wait, a relative? What kind of relative?
Yeah. You don't know? I thought you were the detectives.
Oh no!
Anyway, Ibn Whistler has a twin brother, Albert.
Okay, so you know how everyone's been saying his personality has changed lately? Oh man, what if the real Ibn is dead and his brother Albert's taken over?
Albert Whistler.
You put it together very skillfully, Marty. Yes, Albert Whistler. He's a madman kept in solitary confinement.
Do you think he's the corpse? But why?
How the hell should I know that?
Thanks, Bubo. If what you told us is true, then this time we'll owe you one.
Will wonders never cease?
Oh man.
So,
Teddy's.
Albert Whistler. Which asylum do you mean, Bubo?
It's got some fancy long name. I don't remember, but I have a brochure. Let me find it for you.
Thanks, Bubo.
Well, here it is. Let there be peace forever. Mental institution for ill and damaged minds. Quite a big fool.
Where can we find it? I've never heard of it.
It's a good 6-hour drive from Clawville, maybe more. But you'll find everything in the brochure.
You're the best, Bubo. You finally proved useful.
Whew, finally? Now get your chicken scratchers out of here while I'm asking nicely. Just one more thing.
What's that, Bubo?
If that someone was really Albert Whistler, the trouble's bigger than you think.
It's always bigger than we think, Bubo. We're used to it.
You don't understand. Ibn Whistler never loved and respected anyone in his life like he did his brother Albert.
So what?
Then the problem's bigger than we thought. A cornered rat bites.
Well, thanks for worrying about us, Doc. But there's no way back from here. Too far, too late.
We're like hounds, old man. Once we've caught someone's leg, we never let it go.
Ooh, not while you're alive, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, goodbye then, fellas. And I wouldn't mind if you never visited me again.
The pleasure was all ours, Doc.
Oh boy.
You're the best, Bubo. You finally proved useful.
Call us from Clawville 555-966.
You're the best.
Okay. And we got some information. The wristband is very likely from an insane asylum where Ibn Whistler's secret twin was treated. But how does this all tie back to whoever is threatening Natasha? Bubo... Ursula got really mad at the old owl, but it doesn't seem to upset Bubo that much. He's just dead inside. Alright, we have a new person now. Albert. Thaddeus Whistler. Dangerous lunatic. Dead inside big mood. Bubo don't give a fuck. Alright. Okay. I guess let's go back to our office and put some things together, because damn.
We had to gather ourselves, take a deep breath, and think over what we knew so far. What the chickens had I got myself into? What had I dragged Marty into? Moreover, what had we pulled the whole city into? This was going to be one of those cases that changed things forever. But I wasn't worried about myself. It didn't matter to me. Too many pieces had been plucked off this old rooster. But Marty's different. He's too good of a bird and too good of a cop to end up like me.
This game is actually incredible. The voice acting is incredible, the music is incredible, the world building is incredible. I'm really enjoying it.
A secret twin brother? Sonny, I'm starting to feel like we're really in a detective novel. A cheap one.
Yeah, but listen, Marty.
What is it, Boss Bird?
I think it's best if we go our separate ways.
What? Are you joking? I know you have a weak sense of humor, but there's a limit to everything.
I'm not joking, Marty.
Well, I certainly hope you are.
Whatever comes next, you don't need to be mixed up in it. You have someone to go home to.
Guys, damn it, Sonny. Can you hear yourself? What do you think? I endured all this to give up now? What do you take me for? No, pal. You're not getting rid of me so easily.
I just want you to keep your career and your life intact, you moron. Just accept it, shake my hand, and go home. Your wife, Laura's waiting for you.
One more word, Sonny, and I swear I'm gonna bash your beak in. I risked my life more than once tonight. You know why?
No. Why?
Because we're a team. We have been a team for almost a decade. I don't care what Blood Boil says or whatever's on a goddamn piece of paper. We're the Chicken Police, Sonny. And we always will be.
I'm sorry. You're right.
We're gonna go to that insane asylum and wrap this shit up fast and clean. Yeah, just like you said, even if it kills us.
Yeah, fast and clean, like everything else is gone this evening.
Thanks, Marty. Without you, I'd most likely already be sleeping the big sleep.
Birds of a feather flock together, right?
Like you say, partner.
Let's drop this before you start crying on me, okay?
I hope not.
You almost just did.
Clock off, Marty.
That's the spirit, the Sonny I know and hate.
Okay, back in our office. I think we've like looked at everything in here. We have the phone. We can call it the place, which I guess is our next step. Was it 966? Yeah. No answer.
What do you think, Marty?
What? You care what I think? You must have hit your head pretty bad.
Stop fooling around, Marty. I'm serious. So what do you think? About everything?
Well, I think we're in deep shit. But to be honest, Ibn Wessler is in deeper shit.
Do you think he really murdered his brother? But why? And what does it have to do with Natasha and the threats?
Doesn't add up yet. Something's missing. Let's visit the institution and try to find out what we can about this Albert Wessler fella.
Exactly. If he's the dead body, we've got to know what the motive was. If we can't, and if he's still alive, we gotta ask him directly.
And what do you think, Sonny?
I think Ibn, Albert, and Natasha are the three key players in this case, and that all of it has something to do with the brothel.
And the fact that Natasha used to be a... courtesan?
Yeah, that too.
Listen, Sonny, about Molly.
Oh, just forget it, Marty, okay? She's not part of my life anymore. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Forget it. Let's concentrate on the case, and on making it out alive, and helping Natasha, too.
Whatever you say, Boss Bird. So you think Natasha's really in danger?
It could be, or she could even be behind everything.
No, you don't believe that.
I'm not sure what I believe, Marty. Let's see. Things got mixed up at the
Right.
brothel.
Tie things together. Alright. Natasha's secret, Wesley's twin, Molly's name, a corpse with a wristband, Deborah's dead. Items, so we have a person and a corpse with a wristband. Nope. Wesley's twin. No, Natasha's secret. Things got mixed up at the brothel. Natasha was a courtesan before, and Ibn tried to keep that a secret.
Natasha used to work there, that's obvious. And Ibn wanted to keep that a secret.
This is good. It serves as a little bit of a summary of what happened. Oh, item? Still don't know what's up with that painting piece.
A secret, it seems. Somebody else had to pay for.
Zip dealt with the body and kept the wristband to himself.
Somebody died for that secret. Zip hid the body, but he kept the wristband. Who could it belong to? The dead body was almost certainly Albert Wessler, a resident of an insane asylum. But why did he have to die?
Oh, I think he switched places with his brother. Because they said Ibn suddenly changed, like, has been acting differently. And has been trying to get out of the, like illegal stuff and go legit with some sort of, like, substitute meat thing. Mental institute with a ridiculously long name and a ridiculously long history. According to the pictures, it looks just like the castle of the vampire bats in those cheap horror movies. He's been acting quite strangely recently, as if he was trying to withdraw from his own shady businesses to live a simple life with simple pleasures. Currently busy with some kind of meat substitute business. Or maybe now we can call them. Or maybe I'm reading this incorrectly and it's 9... No, it's 966. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, and I mean, it makes sense in a world like this where you have, like, the predator animals and the prey animals, and a lot of them are not meat eaters. Okay, I can't leave the apartment yet. Why not? I've already looked at everything in here. Oh, there's a cabinet. No, I looked at that. Oh, I can ask him questions.
So where exactly is this place?
A few hours' drive from here, in the middle of nowhere. It's a creepy old mansion, of course.
You think it's a good idea to go there? What if it's a trap?
I told you, you can still go back.
Huh, wouldn't you love that? No such luck, boss. If I get killed or locked up forever in an insane asylum, that's gonna be on you.
Thanks, pal. I deserved that.
You still trust her?
I never trusted her, Marty.
I mean, you believe her?
I'm sure she was honestly afraid. People don't fake it that easy. But I can understand why she didn't tell us about her, former profession.
Or how she knows Molly.
Yeah, that too. And the death of Deborah complicated things even more.
Hey, Sonny, she didn't seduce you, right? I mean, Natasha.
Ah, don't be stupid, Marty. My old ticker hasn't been beating for a long time. Not that way, anyway.
Yeah, all right, boss. Who'd have thought? I believed that little rat. I thought he'd changed. Idiot.
There's a point when it's too late to change, Marty. His past caught up with him. Whatever he did since then doesn't matter.
Not much.
Exactly. And that's the case with us, too. That's why I won't back down. Even though a voice in my head is screaming right now, leave it all to hell and have another drink.
Maybe we should do that.
Maybe we should.
So what do you think happened to the corpse?
Probably been eaten. Horrible to think about, but even if half of what they say about the Hive is true, starvation, riots, arson, predation.
The Hive is a ghetto where the insects live, and Zip disposed of the corpse by just kind of dropping it in an alley there.
You're telling me. Makes my feathers stand on end when I think about what goes on in there. And we pretend we don't know about it. As if Roachtown isn't even part of Clawville.
This won't end well. I'm afraid soon Clawville's gonna burn once again. And because of its own foolishness.
Well, that's if another meat war doesn't break out first. 'Cause then, the whole wilderness will burn.
Lovely prospects, eh?
Either way, it was a damn clever move for Whistler to hide the body in Roachtown.
It's the only place no one will ever find it.
Like the belly of a burning ship.
Oh, I think that was an intentional red herring.
Sounds about right.
Oh good. The Great Meat War was the biggest and most bloody conflict in the known history of the wilderness, ranging from 822 to 849. In the beginning, it only affected Altera, the two-headed continent, but in its later years, it spread to 12 colonial provinces, including all of Clawville's 4 colonies. During the Meat War, about 80 to 90 million animals died, and after the war, 27 species were declared extinct. Why can't I leave yet?
Okay, so the picture is more or less clear. Ibn's got his brother killed because he learned Natasha worked in a brothel.
Well, that could be the case, but I believe the roots go deeper than that.
Which we'd only learn if we talked to him. I mean, if the corpse isn't him, because then we'd need a medium.
Which would be exciting, but maybe it's enough if we ask the doctor who treated him.
That too, yeah. But where's the fun in that?
A stack of papers. Just looking at them makes me think of Monica. I've had enough stimulation for today.
You know, I thought about it multiple times that you might be Meredith H. Marble.
We've met her on a number of occasions, Marty. Remember? Her real name is Susie.
Maybe Susie's just an actress you hired.
You've read too much of that cheap garbage, Marty. There's no conspiracy theory. Susie's just a money-hungry little dame who made a fortune off of us. That's all.
She wrote the pulp chicken police novels.
Yeah, you're disappointing.
I know.
Please say the floor inside is covered with conspiracy theory papers and notes written with your own blood.
More like dirty clothes and empty bottles, Marty. Sorry.
You're no fun, Sonny.
Well, you'll get old eventually, too.
Never.
I still have nightmares about the Great Fire.
Really? Were you alive then? How old are you exactly?
I was 3. And maybe it's not even a true memory, just the collective memory of the city. I see the flames. I see the burning buildings. And I hear the screams.
Hey, wait a minute. I thought you weren't born in Clawville. Aren't you from Averia?
Exactly, Marty. We were just visiting Clawville when the fire broke out.
I'm surprised you ever returned.
Well, maybe that's the reason I did return, Marty. It's like when someone falls in love with their captor, you know? Somehow, I feel like this is my place. No matter how much suffering it brings, Clawville's fate is intertwined with mine.
Heavy stuff.
This is the first time I've hit that light switch. I didn't realize there was more light to have in here. Why can't I leave yet?
It's a piece of a painting. Judging by how well it was hidden, I'm sure this is what Natasha wanted to show us. You're the best, Bubo. Why did you keep...
Okay, so the picture is more or less clear. Ibn's got his
I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing now. Let's go to the thing. Let me out. I also don't know who this is supposed to be. Maybe that's supposed to be Molly. Must be getting near the end if we only have 3 spots or 3 slots left on the peoples.
Ah, man, I can't imagine how you feel. The only good thing you ever had, huh?
Shut up, Marty.
Sure.
No, trapped in a noir PI's office forever.
Who's that shaggy creature?
That's M.B. Davis, you bird brain.
Politician?
Am I gonna have to smash your beak?
Seriously, I don't know who the hell he is. I didn't know you used to be a kindergarten teacher. But leather?
It's history, so back off.
I'm touched by the trust you have in me, Boss Bird.
There are things better left undisturbed, okay?
Yeah, got it. So this is them.
Yeah, the Wild Gentlemen. They were role models when I was a kid.
Well, you must have been a weird kid, which ain't surprising. My idols were the White Wolf and Super Squirrel.
The White Wolf, eh? Explains a lot. You know, when I was back in Averia, Clawville and the whole let's live together in peace bullshit seemed like an unattainable dream. Those guys made it happen. The city rose from the ashes of the Great Fire.
Yeah, but look at it now. And what would have become of you if you hadn't ended up in Clawville? Maybe you'd even be happy?
Perhaps.
Ooh, sleeper trains, yeah. Yeah, friends of our family did the, like, cross-country train trip. I was so jealous. Leather and fur used to be high fashion, but nowadays, especially in Clawville, the use of real leather and fur is quite rare. It's not totally illegal to wear these kinds of clothes, yet, if you can afford it, but it's quite despicable, to put it mildly. The Wild Gentleman, a civilian organization started by the four most influential and wealthiest animals in the city. The fire of 867 had almost entirely wiped Clawville off the face of the wilderness when the Wild Gentleman intervened and built the city anew, using all their money and influence. They were heroes, or at least they were regarded as such. Some believe the fire was their doing, and it was all part of a national conspiracy, but most likely, we'll never know the truth. All I could do is call... Pick up, pick up, pick up!
Hello.
Ah!
You've called the Let There Be Peace Forever mental institution for ill and damaged minds. What can I do for you, sir? Or madam?
Well, I'd like to inquire about a patient who I believe is being treated at your institution. His name is Albert Wessler.
I'm sorry, sir, but I can't give out that information if you don't have the password given to relatives. Do you have one?
Unfortunately, I don't have that. I'm not a relative. I'm calling from the Clawville Police Department.
Oh, I see. In that case, officer, I'd advise you to visit our institution personally. Our director and I would be happy to answer your questions.
Thank you, miss. I guess I'll do that.
We'll welcome you with open arms, sir. Have yourself a beautiful, starlit night.
Weird.
Oh, thanks. Goodbye.
See you soon.
Now can I
So-
leave?
We have to go there.
Ah, the thought gives me goosebumps.
Chicken bumps aren't good enough for you?
Ha ha ha. So, I get the couch?
It'd be better if I called Lewis. He'll open up a room for you to sleep in.
Whew, great idea.
Shit. I don't... What's his number? Five 932. He runs this hotel we live in.
Hey, Lewis, it's me again.
Oh, hello, Sonny. What's up?
Were you sleeping, pal?
Me? Oh, I wasn't. Anyway, I'm always at your service.
Would you open up a room for Marty?
Naturally, Sonny.
Thanks, Lewis. I'm not even gonna say it.
I will. You owe me one. Again.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. All right. Chapter 4. Ooh, can we finish this today? I think there's only 4 chapters.
I slept like I used to sleep years ago. Like a miner. or a soldier. Empty, dead tired. Then I saw Tessa, my darling little daughter. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't recall her face. I reached out to her, but she just kept getting further and further away. Then I saw Molly. But she wasn't real, just the ghost of a memory. "I'm here," I cried, but all I heard was laughter. Not hers. "Who's there?" Suddenly, she appeared. Natasha. Just stood there laughing, but her eyes were cold. Then she said something. "Painted red, painted red, painted red." That was just a dream, Sonny. Nothing more. I looked at Marty and I saw the same thing in his eyes as he probably saw in mine. It's time to hit the brakes, to turn back, go home and forget about all of this. Of course, I stepped on the gas instead. Honestly, I wasn't expecting anything good, but this...
Alright, what kind of cult are we walking into?
Ooh, just like a horror movie.
I was thinking the same.
Appearances can be deceiving.
Let's hope so. This picture...
It's very...
special?
Alright, so that's definitely the king. What is that? Dog, rat, cat, bird?
Even if you manage to escape, there's nothing but hills and forests for 100 miles.
Imagine how many poor lunatic ghosts must haunt those woods.
Ooh, Sonny, you're creeping me out. This guy seems strangely familiar to me.
You don't say. You've been treated here too. That would explain a lot.
Oh, don't be stupid. I'm serious. Take a closer look.
No.
Well?
No, it can't be. Are you telling me it's him? M.B. Davis himself?
I'm sure of it, pal. It seems the gossip was true. The eternal king of jazz in a madhouse.
Oh, no. The poor devil. We should go to reception first. Let them know we're here.
Oh my god, is that a giraffe? Holy shit, that's a giraffe. That's fantastic. Beware.
Ah, like an angel from heaven, isn't she?
Yeah, half of her's still up there, I think.
That's rude.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Of all the great wild ones,
Greetings, miss.
is it really you?
Okay, I gotta take a second. Logistically, how the fuck does this work as an animal person? Because the arms are still proportionally human. There's no way, fuck, they would be able to reach the head up there. So how does that all work?
Well, yes.
Yes, it really is you, the chicken police.
I'm afraid so.
Of all that's furry and plumey, that's fantastic. Oh my goodness.
Miss, we'd like to ask...
Please, don't be scared. I'm just really,
Oh, God.
really excited. You know, I've read every book about you and your adventures, and I even collected newspaper articles when I was a little girl.
Indeed.
You can't imagine what an honor it is to meet you in person.
We really...
Oh God, oh God, oh God. Take a deep breath, Miranda. Take a deep breath.
Are you okay, miss?
Yes, I am. I just needed some air. So, dear detectives, Santino and Martin, what can I do for you?
Well, miss, we have some questions, if you don't mind.
I'd love to answer all of your questions, detectives.
Get Chivos. Alright, so I'm guessing this one's the doctor, or the not headmaster, director. Miranda the nurse, giraffe. Full of life, full of hope, full of almost everything, and she is a big fan of us, unfortunately. An overly nice nurse we met behind the desk at the asylum. Her name is Miranda, and she's an embarrassingly huge fan of the Chicken Police.
Say, miss, what can you tell us about this place?
Our institution was standing even before the Great Meat War, and during the war, it was transformed into a military hospital. Since then, we're relentlessly working on treating injured minds under the leadership of Dr. Quetzal, the famous specialist.
The place seems pretty empty.
Oh!
Do many people work here?
It's a snake.
We have 32 residents and 7 nurses, including me. We also have a 3-person maintenance and cleaning staff, and, of course, the heart and soul of our institution, Dr. Quetzal himself.
I see. Now, this Dr. Quetzal, is he the director here?
Saying Quetzal is gonna kill me.
Exactly. Director, scientist, researcher, patron, and doctor. And even a friend.
Quite a guy.
He certainly is.
So who is this Dr. Quetzal exactly?
He's a world-famous researcher of the mind, Mr. Featherland. He published countless books in the fields of psychology and psychotherapy.
Psycho what?
Unraveling the mind. It's the most crucial mission of the century, Mr. McChicken.
That's really good to know.
So this doctor's some celebrity, right? Does he usually meet other important persons?
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
Well, like Mr. Hobart Wessler, for example.
Ah, yes. That's something you should ask the doctor himself, but unfortunately, I don't think he has time right now.
He's swamped, is he?
Exactly, Mr. Featherland. He is very, very, very busy. All the time.
I thought so. Now, what can you say about this, miss? Have you seen anything like it?
Of course. Our residents wear these for identification. But how did you come by it? They only wear them inside the institution.
Huh. I see.
The wristband does belong to one of our residents. But I'm afraid I'm not allowed to tell you more due to regulations.
Oh, come on, Miranda. It's us, the Chicken Police.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Miranda, this case is a matter of life and death. Lives are in your hands.
All right. All right. I'll do it. Albert Wessler. The patient's name is Albert Thaddeus Wessler.
Figures. Just as we thought.
Thank you, Miranda. We'll never forget this.
Please, don't make me blush. And don't tell anyone you heard it from me.
Oh, we won't. I promise.
So when can we talk to Mr. Wessler?
I need to ask Dr. Quetzal. Please wait here.
Thank you.
I do want to poke around up the stairs.
Dr. Quetzal will see you. He's waiting for you in his office. Up the stairs, all the way down the hall, until the last door.
What a surprise. It's enough to mention Wessler's name and all the doors are open.
I wouldn't want to get mixed up in this, but do you think Albert is in danger?
Yes.
Danger? What do you mean?
We haven't heard from him since he disappeared, and we're really, really worried.
I see. We don't know yet, miss, but let's hope for the best.
Great wild ones protect him.
Where is he?
No idea, Marty.
The smell of all that's furry. I'll never get used to it.
Well, reptiles have a disgusting body odor, Marty, but they feel exactly the same about us.
Exactly.
Great wild ones, you scared the hell out of me.
I already sensed your arrival from afar. You know, snakes have a different sense of smell, and birds used to be our prey once upon a time.
Well, yeah. Luckily, we're living in civilized times.
Lucky. Please take a seat. How can I help you, gentlemen?
It's always funny when you get the parts of them like talking to each other side to side, and then you get a straight on picture because everyone looks so dopey from the front. Alright. We might have a bingo! Albert Whistler has disappeared from the asylum. Dr. Sessuolus Quetzalcoatl. It's green tree python. Cold, distant, professional, and he gives me the creeps. I want a snake so bad. The professor is a real polyhistorian? Scientist, writer, philosopher, and who knows what else. Alright, we got a window, to the walls, to the desk, to the ball python. No, he's true python.
Why do you have bars on your windows?
Because it's a room like all the others, and I'm just an animal too, like all our residents.
With the significant difference of you being a doctor and not a patient. Am I right?
It's not as big of a difference as you'd think.
Your office is rather Puritan. Simple, I mean.
Ain't that the truth?
Well, yes. I can't let my mind wander from my work. I only keep what's essential
Oh,
in my
okay.
office.
Thanks for the definition. Someone gifted or learned to a great extent or in multiple disciplines. A great scholar.
I see. That makes sense. An isle of reason in a sea of insanity.
Insanity is such a strong word, and it's mostly an abstract idea. Where does insanity start, and how long is one not insane? Interesting questions. Am I normal, or are you? Maybe neither of us.
You see, that's something I think about a lot nowadays.
If you like, I can give you an appointment.
Oh, this is your chance, Sonny. Don't miss it. We're already here.
Marty, clock up. A snake. I can't help it, but they make my feathers stand on end.
Yeah, thanks. I have a pretty wide vocabulary. I've never heard that one.
To be honest, gentlemen, your visit is anything but a surprise. I could even say I was expecting it.
What an introduction.
Please forgive me. I have the bad habit of immediately getting into the middle of things. How very rude of me. My name is Dr. Sessuolus Quetzalcoatl, but most call me Dr. Quetzal to keep it simple.
The name is Santino Featherland, and this is my partner, Martin McChicken, from
from the Predatory Division of the Clawville Police Department. Your fame is one step ahead of you.
We're used to it.
Certainly.
We have some questions about one of your patients, if you don't mind. We'd like to talk to him, if that's possible.
Please be specific, Detective.
Look, Doctor, we're too tired to play cat and mouse. Not that snake and chicken sounds any better.
Very funny, I must say. Just what I expected from you two detectives.
We know you know it's about Albert Wessler, Ibn Wessler's secret twin. Ever since we've said his name, all the doors have miraculously opened. That's what we call a bullseye.
Well, yes. Why should I deny it? We're talking about a rather illustrious patient here, who's also a very particular medical case.
Now, that's much more interesting. So, are you willing to talk about him?
Because Albert, regrettably, has disappeared, and you are police detectives, I have no reason not to talk to you. Of course, I'm at your service, but you must understand, I can't disclose information about my patients.
Not even if it's a matter of life and death?
Everything's a matter of life and death in here, Detective. This is a hospital, even if it's primarily for the mind, not the body.
Still, I'd like to give the impossible a try.
Please, Detective, just do your job, and I'll do mine.
And now we can ask him about specific things. Tell me about Insane Asylum.
What kind of a place is this exactly? I assume it wasn't built as an insane asylum.
It used to be a mansion. Construction started during the occupation in 622. Then it stood empty for almost a century, until finally it went to the crown of Clawville when Hector's great-grandfather took the throne. The rest is history.
How long have you been working here?
I've worked here for more than 30 years, but it's been in my family's possession for almost 150 years.
So if I count correctly, as soon as it went to the crown, it was seized by your family.
That's almost accurate, Mr. Featherland.
What a lovely inheritance. How long was Albert a resident of the institution?
For quite some time. His first symptoms surfaced in his teens. Depression, panic attacks, and schizophrenia.
Was he brought here immediately after the first signs that something wasn't right?
You know, the biggest problem with an opinion on insanity is that animals are ashamed of it. That's the reason our institution stands out here in the middle of nowhere.
Because animals would rather hide what they're afraid to face.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
As far as I know, the Wessler family wasn't exceptionally wealthy.
Indeed, they were rather poor, but we offer our services gratis.
So you can experiment on them?
Then how do you sustain yourselves?
By the grace of the treasury of King Hector III, of course.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
My family and the royal dynasty had always been on good terms, Mr. Santino.
Well, we can now question him in an official capacity. But first, I want to see the notes we got. The professor's family has governed the mental health facility and its estate for more than 100 years. Quite a heritage, eh? The half-century occupation. Since its foundation, an attempt to conquer Clawville has only been made once. The half-century occupation started in 622 and lasted until 677. During this time, the Harar Empire took over all of Clawville's territories except its colonies, which in the end, with the help of Svolaso and Vlavoslavia, took back control over Clawville.
Tell me, Doctor, do you know Madame Zavas?
Just like everybody else, I've heard of her, but I never had the pleasure of meeting her in person. I'm sure she's an interesting case.
Oh, you can be sure about that. I'd gladly get you two together if I had the chance. A spare cell would suit her very much.
Is that so?
As it turns out, she likes small, narrow, secret places.
Oh, I see. What a coincidence.
Dr. Quetzal's a real mystery. But I can turn that to my advantage. I just need to focus on the strangest pieces of the puzzle.
Ooh, he doesn't like us.
So when did Albert become a resident of your institute?
Albert and Hobart, or Ibn as you call him, arrived here almost exactly 4 years ago.
Could you describe that day more specifically?
It was not long after New Year's Eve, maybe the first week of the year, if I'm not mistaken. It was sleeting that day. Wind was banging incessantly on the windows. The power was going out for short periods of time.
What was your first impression of them?
I already knew the Wessler name. I knew who they were. Or at least I knew one of them, Hobart Wessler. He was famous. Gangster, moneylender, celebrity, lover.
And Albert?
He was new to me, an invisible gray ghost. The family had tried to keep his existence a secret.
Why?
Because they were ashamed of him, of course, Mr. Featherland. That's how it usually is.
What was your first impression of him?
He was silent, but observed everything that surrounded him. His eyes were constantly moving, never stopped for a second.
Was he afraid?
I wouldn't say so. It seemed to me that he wanted to move into our institution voluntarily. It looked as if he couldn't wait to be here, alone, locked up in silence and darkness.
Sounds good to me, TBH.
Didn't you think of that as unusual?
Of course I did, but who am I to judge? It was rather special treatment.
What kind of special treatment did Albert get?
You know, if an institution like ours has to accept a Wessler as a guest, there's bound to be some favoritism.
And complete secrecy, I guess.
Yes, but that's the case for all our patients, Mr. Featherland.
Of course. So in what way did he receive more than the others?
Basically, we don't admit anyone into our institution without a complete and thorough prior assessment. In the case of Albert, we put that aside.
So you didn't even know if he had anything wrong with him?
Initially, no. He was more of a guest than a patient.
How did you see Albert when you first met?
Albert was shy and reserved, like a ghost. He almost never touched anything. It was evident he was exceptionally intelligent. He measured and observed everything around him.
What else?
He was delicate and graceful, almost like a woman. Yes. He was rather feminine. He was an artist, Mr. Featherland, a magnificent painter, and rather good writer, too. Sometimes I even heard him sing.
I wonder if he did that painting of Natasha.
Why did he have to be locked up?
I asked the same thing at first.
Are you telling me Albert had multiple personalities?
We found out very quickly that there was no other reason for the cause of his seizures. He had a cold and calculating personality who sometimes, especially on stormy days, took the reins over their shared mind.
Uh-oh.
He had these seizures from the beginning.
Yes, Mr. Featherland, but they started to intensify after Albert left our institution for the first time.
He did what? Left the institution? More than once?
Oh, yes, Mr. Featherland. Albert left the institution on several occasions until the last time, when he failed to come back.
Quetzal's not only very observant, but he's addicted to details. I must focus on that if I want to get closer to the truth. Focus. Addicted to details. When and why did Albert leave the institution for the first time?
It was about 2 years ago. Mr. Hobart Wessler appeared and demanded we let his brother go free. Naturally, we obliged. We had no idea if we'd ever see him again.
But you did.
He returned the same day. Albert was ecstatic. He was unrestrained. I could almost say happy.
That was unusual for him?
I had never seen him like that before, Mr. Featherland. He just smiled and stared at the empty wall for hours.
Did he ever tell you what happened to him outside?
Of course he did. Albert and I had a good relationship. He was working on a painting for his brother.
Was it a painting of a lovely lady cat?
Oh, exactly. So you already knew about that.
Yes, Dr. Quetzal, I've seen it. Has Albert ever talked to you about Natasha?
Only in superlatives, as if he wasn't talking about a real person, but an ethereal being, about an angel or a demon, something that is not of this world.
Oh man. Did he kill his brother, take his place so he could be with Natasha?
And what did you think about his fantasies?
We are in an institution where almost everyone is hallucinating on a daily basis, Mr. Featherland. It didn't really bother me, but the fluctuations of positive and negative were more disturbing.
Thanks, Doc. I didn't understand a word, but I think I get the point. So Albert left on many occasions to continue working on the painting.
Exactly, Mr. Featherland. Every time he came back, he was like a different person. But unfortunately, his seizures also multiplied and became more dangerous.
More dangerous.
Albert was hurting himself. And on one occasion, he even tried to hurt me. It was unprecedented. It seemed his confined personality was taking over their shared mind entirely, piece by piece.
Do you think the painting caused it?
Not the painting, Mr. Featherland.
But its subject.
Wrong. It's...
Exactly. He was obsessed, right until that fateful day when he returned to us for the last time.
What exactly happened that day, Doctor?
It wasn't Hobart who brought his brother back that day, but two of his gorillas. Not literally, I mean. And Albert was in a terrible, terrible state.
What happened to him?
I don't like to talk about that, Mr. Featherland.
It could be vital to the case, Dr. Quetzal. Don't back down.
Oh, you're right. There's no use turning back now. So, Albert's tongue was torn out, or cut off, I don't know exactly, and he was blinded in one eye, or rather, one of his eyes was missing entirely.
Okay, so if that was Ibn and he got his tongue cut out so he couldn't tell anybody.
So you're saying Albert was brought back horribly mutilated?
Yes. And they didn't give any explanation as to what had happened. They simply told me it was some kind of accident.
Dr. Quetzal is cold and professional, but he's also very confused. Maybe it's cruel, but I must exploit his vulnerability if I want to learn everything about Albert. Focus, confused. The two fellas who brought Albert back, could you describe them?
Those two fellas, as you put it, were two remarkably huge, rude men.
A ram and a bobcat, perhaps?
No, one of them was a tiger, if I remember correctly. He had a rather fresh bump under his left eye, and the other one was a penguin. But I've never seen a penguin that big in my entire life.
Did they tell you anything besides it was an accident?
They didn't say anything, but gave an obvious signal that I had to keep quiet about what happened.
I see. Pull yourself together, Doctor. What was Albert's condition after the incident?
Mind your tone, Detective.
Sorry, Doc, but I can see you're disturbed by these memories.
How could I not be? I'm not a monster. We're talking about a mutilated animal here.
So, what was he like after the incident?
Even more silent than ever. No surprise, I suppose. He was not only silent in words, but also in his soul and spirit.
What do you mean by that?
He never painted anything again, and his seizures completely stopped.
Almost like he was someone else who doesn't know how to paint and doesn't have seizures.
What happened then? How did Albert disappear?
A few weeks later, Hobart came to visit Albert one more time. Albert had been in terrible condition by then. We even had to transfer him to another cell, a more safe one.
What did Hobart do during the visit?
He didn't do anything. He just sat and watched his brother, who was in an almost vegetative state by then.
Couldn't you manage to draw anything out of him? You or Hobart?
Nothing. For a while, he was trying to signal something. Perhaps He was too afraid. And most likely his fingers had been broken too, so he couldn't even write.
Do you think Hobart could have killed Albert?
It's horrible to say it, but I'm sure of it.
How did he disappear in the end? Did someone come for him?
That's what's most eerie about it all, Mr. Featherland. He simply disappeared. His door, which only I had a key for, was open.
Did anyone see anything?
No one. We interrogated the staff, even the patients. He simply vanished off the face of the wilderness. We don't know what happened to him.
Unfortunately, I have a hunch. Thank you, Doctor. You've been a great help.
Oh, well, I'm glad I could be of help. But please, I now must attend to my work.
We understand, Doctor. Thank you.
And make a decent cap. Alright, let's see what info we got. Albert Wessler disappeared. We have a hunch about what could have happened to him. Ibn most likely killed his own brother, Albert Wessler, and made Zip dispose of his body. This seems most plausible right now, anyway. He is cold, reserved, and endlessly professional in his own field, but the thing that happened to Albert even got a rise out of him. No surprises here, I think. Albert's brother Ibn took him out of the asylum on several occasions to paint that fateful picture of Natasha. I think we have a motive, gentlemen.
That's quite shocking information.
I think you understand why we kept it a secret. If it wasn't for Mr. Wessler's demand, we'd never let any of our patients walk freely outside our institution.
Then the accident happened.
Accident? Ha! We didn't believe it, not for a second. After Albert came back to us, horribly mutilated, he was different.
Different how?
If someone got one of his eyes poked out and his tongue torn out, he'd be different, but not like this. Albert was a different person.
We believe you, Doctor. So, can we take a look at Albert's cell?
I'd rather call it his room. Mr. Wessler lived in exceptional circumstances.
Thanks to the Wessler name, I guess.
Yes. Well, we try to make all of our patients stay as comfortable as possible, but Albert certainly enjoyed special favoritism.
I hope you don't mind if we take a look around in there.
That's not going to bother anyone.
Well, that's surprising.
I've never seen a cell like this before, that's for sure. I wouldn't mind living here myself.
It seems that being a Wessler gets you privileges.
And a healthy dose of danger.
Mostly that, yeah. Let's take a good look around. I'm sure we'll find some answers here. I can almost smell them.
Well, I smell paint, ink, plaster, some kind of oil, aging paper, slight smell of rat, and great expectations.
What the dickens?
Unmistakable. Yeah.
This place is bad for you, pal. But if you've already jump-started your beak holes, then sniff out the solution.
I think there's a second one either out or coming out. Hang on. Yeah, Chicken Police Into the Hive. Is coming soon. So it will be a series.
I'm on it, Boss Bird.
Ooh. It's another Chicken Police book. For a handful of waffles.
You know, I don't think he had it so bad in here.
You mean apart from being separated from everyone you love in an ancient mansion filled with madmen?
You're right.
As always. A small window, a small hope.
Whoa.
The style, it's very familiar to me.
You've been lonely for far too long, huh?
Not funny, Marty.
It is, a little.
Definitely the same style as the one of Natasha.
No way! Is this some kind of puzzle?
I don't think so. But we could still find something important here. A pattern, a sign, anything.
What? Alright, we got eyeballs, we got stars, we got squiggles, flowers, a fox, a cat in a hat, a flower, a bat, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7. Oh wait, these are all numbers. A police car. Oh, I can draw whoops. I can draw squiggles on it. What do I want to connect? What if I just color everything in? Oh, you can only have so many layer ones. I circle everything.
Identical twins. And looking at it, they may have easily loved the same woman. 2 men and 1 woman. Nothing good ever comes of that.
I don't know, sounds like fun to me.
Well, I wouldn't say that exactly.
Of all the wild ones, Marty, please, stitch up your beak, okay?
Just use your imagination, old bird.
Scribbles, newspaper articles, study papers, poems, perfect chaos.
Just like the troubled mind of a troubled fella.
Yeah, but there's still a kind of order in it. It's just too intricate for you to comprehend.
If you say so, boss.
Look at that, a letter.
Yeah, red stuff makes an infinity. Or is that an 8? Ah! I mean, we can interact with it. I feel like there's something we should be able to squiggle out here. There's definitely infinity signs. Let's see if this gives us anything.
Identical twins. And looking at it, they may have easily loved the same woman.
I know I don't exist. I don't exist because you don't see me. But I'm not what you think I am. You don't think about me, do you? Never, no. I think of you every day, every minute, always. In my dreams, I have become one with him, one soul. You know who I am thinking about, right? Can you feel it? Can you feel that I'm there too, with you? Do you feel it? Right? I can't hold it in myself for long. Forgive me, please. I'm sorry, but I can't help it. The world is crashing down, the whole world is rotting and rotting. Everything is rotting around me. I have to get out of here, to become one with my destiny, and one with you. Forgive me.
Albert was madly in love with Natasha, and would have done anything for her. I'm afraid he did exactly that. What do you make of this?
Apart from the fact the guy was totally insane? I don't know. What should I?
That maybe we've been chasing the wrong person all this time, Marty.
What do you mean?
Everything will be revealed soon.
Why do you have to be so melodramatic all of a sudden?
If I'm right, this'll flip the whole case upside down.
What's that, Sonny? A blurb from some horrible novel?
I just have to think things through before I come to any hasty conclusions, Marty.
Ugh, you're killing me. So, what now? Where to?
Back to Clawville, where we can finally put all the pieces together.
You're driving me crazy. But all right, let's go home.
What can you tell us about the woman in the photo we saw in Albert's room?
Do you mean Miss Natasha Katsenko? Well, yes. I don't know much about her, but everyone heard her name and her voice around here.
Did she ever visit this place?
Never. But if you ask me, Natasha probably didn't even know Albert was a resident of our institution.
And Albert, did he mention her often?
Constantly. It was obvious he had an affection for Miss Katsenko, but I wouldn't have thought for a moment he could escape because of her.
I wouldn't jump ahead, Doctor. Something else could be behind Albert's disappearance.
Do you think so? All the signs clearly indicate this.
Maybe they do, Doctor, but in my line of work, logic's not always the best advisor.
In 99% of cases.
Exactly. But this one typically belongs to the remaining 1%.
If you say so.
Albert fell fatally in love with Natasha. Was that the reason he had to die? Alright, back to the office.
Oh, I don't believe this.
Oh no!
You again?
Take him out. My car won't last much longer.
Shit.
Don't worry, Sonny. I was born to do this.
Gunfight, 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 gunfight. Oops. Oops. Ooh.
Are you blind or what? Where did you learn to shoot?
Gotcha!
Whew. Well, that was close.
A little too close for my taste, and it only strengthens my belief. Wessler is desperate. He knows if we survive, he's done for.
Well, come on, what did you work out? Will you tell me already?
Sure. Let's put the picture together, piece by piece. Let's start from the beginning. So, we got a case.
Alright, putting everything together. We got a case. Natasha came to us. With the... Oh wait. The message. No. Painting? Natasha tried to show us the
Natasha
painting.
tried to show us the painting. And that painting would have shown us the way. To Ibn and Albert Wessler. Albert painted Natasha, so he met her on more than one occasion. Which made Albert fall in love with Natasha. And on a fateful night, he killed his brother so he could take his place in secret and win Natasha's heart.
So what happens now?
The inevitable, Marty. We're going to the Wessler mansion to confront Ibn with the facts.
You mean Albert, right?
Yeah, exactly. And of course, Natasha.
Do you think she knew about it?
Something stinks, Marty. The whole case seems too intricate.
Maybe she helps plan it.
Too many coincidences, right?
Well, well, after 10 years, you did learn something, didn't you?
9.
You're right.
Huh.
What?
You just laughed, Sonny.
What? No, I snorted.
No, you laughed.
Ah, just leave it, Marty.
I'll be telling this to my grandchicks.
All right, pal, that's enough.
Okay, okay. So, Albert fell madly in love with Natasha and decided to have her for himself.
And his best chance was to trade places with Ibn Wessler.
So that's why the torn out tongue.
Yeah, Ibn couldn't squeal even if he wanted to.
What a diabolical plan.
More like insane.
No, it's quite sane and planned out.
But why the messages then? Why the threats? Albert got what he wanted. He could have got away with it.
I'm not a psychologist, Marty, but remember what the doctor told us. Albert has a seriously injured mind and a split personality. I think his two identities were at war with each other.
So the messages were written by one of his personalities, consumed by jealousy?
Something like that, Marty. But we can only learn the whole truth from him.
You're right. So, are we going or what?
We're going, Marty, to finally finish what we started.
Well, if there's anything you'd like to do before, do it now, boss. You won't have a chance later.
You're right, Marty. It's time to wrap everything up.
Do I stop here or do I try and finish this tonight? I think I'm actually gonna call it here, and then we can wrap this up next week. Because I think we're about halfway through chapter 4. So I guess, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Come back on Wednesday for some Dragon Age. And we'll finish this up next Monday. Good night, gremlings.